So here we are above the timberline. That's what it's called, right?
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. A little scary for me, actually, because I don't like heights much. But so the reason I wanted to show you this is what happened when and how Stephen King ended up staying at the Stanley Hotel. So he was coming and he was going actually through the Rocky Mountain National Park over to, I don't remember where, Granby?
Must have been going to Granby. Yeah.
He was going to stay at some cottages down in Granby, I believe it was. But anyway, it was through the Rocky Mountain National Park. And he came up here and it says, be careful, the weather changes quickly.
And he was at the end of the season, so he's going into winter.
Yeah, so he was here, I think that must be September, October. But anyway, at the end of the season, and it was going into winter. And he and his wife started to cross these, the national park here. And one of the things says is that the weather can change rapidly. And so they got on their way up here in the national park and the weather did change and they got in a snowfall. So they were like, we do not want to be driving through this. And with these roads, I can see why. I would be completely freaked out. Like, oh God, I can't look over the edge there. There you go. There's over the edge. But Paul's a good driver. And so they turned around and the first hotel they found was the Stanley Hotel. Now the Stanley Hotel was actually closing down for the season. So they were done. They were like, it was time to close up for the winter, which a lot of the hotels did because they didn't even have heat. Well, the Stanley Hotel was at that time not as nice as it was today, but it was the first hotel that they ran into. And in fact, it was actually kind of run down.
Yeah. And they were closing.
Yep,
So
and they were closing. So they went and knocked on the door and they let him in and they had, the place was shut down. Everybody was gone. But these guys were stuck in the snowstorm and so of course they let them come in. They said, well, we don't have any food, we've got sandwiches. They said they actually took the chairs down from the tables and let them sit in the room with this old classical music playing in the background. Woo, this is a high one. Okay. Wow. Okay, can't look at that one while you drive around. I'm gonna stop. Holy crap. I can't look. I've been on this road like 3 or 4 times and every time it still freaks me out. Okay. So they took the chairs down off the table, fed them sandwiches, and put them into room 217. And from there, lots of stories, but we'll tell you the rest of it later. But this is the road that Stephen King was on and turned around and stayed at the Stanley, which was very eerie because there was nobody there. It was closing down for the winter. It was a bit dilapidated, and it gave him the idea for the book The Shining. More to come.